Hey YouTubers, it's me Virginia, and I haven't done this in such a long time. I highly doubt if I'm going to get it right the first time. Oh my goodness, where do I start? Where do I start? So much has gone on in the 3 years since my last video. I think it's been 3 years. And you have to I apologize right now because I'm using my iPhone because I don't remember how I used to do this. But I'm not used to talking that way, and I got it in landscape mode because if I do it vertically and you see one of those videos that has the black, I can't stand that. So, gosh, I'm gonna have to do this in parts, I promise you, because I know no one has an hour to listen to me babble. And I haven't changed, I'm just the same old babbler. I still drink my cappuccinos. As a matter of fact, you'll see them in next videos. Let's see. I don't know. I probably should have watched my last video to see what I needed to catch up on. So I'm just going to touch on the biggies, okay? Shortly after the Vegas gathering, we had to move out of our big, beautiful old home in downtown Kingman. And we ended up renting from the gentleman that my husband works for, and this is a beautiful home. So I don't know if my last video covered that or not, but we're going to skip right to it. Right at the end there, I was babysitting a family of 3, I think it was 3, and I started doing that here in this new house. And I babysat for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then last summer, a couple of my kids moved away. And I have since gone down to 1 day a week and babysitting on Fridays only. Okay, so that's all you need to know about that part. Also, starting in the old home, before I moved to this home, I started having major dental issues. And I don't know if y'all remember, I don't even know who's going to see this video or not, but because of my calcium issues and my bone softness, I had lots of bridges and implants and all kinds of stuff that I had work done back, I don't know, I don't even think it's been 10 years, 9, 10 years ago. Well, back in the other house, I had a tooth that became very, very loose. And it was a back molar. And I went and had a dentist look at it, and she wanted $150 to pull an extremely loose tooth. I wouldn't even need Novocaine. That's how loose it was. And I had just, like I said, not too many years ago, spent thousands upon thousands on my mouth. And back then, it was about, let's say 10 years, because I remember the number 48 and I'm 58 now. We told the dentist, just go ahead and pull them and give me dentures, because I knew my calcium issues, and I knew eventually down the road this is going to happen. And that dentist I absolutely loved, but he said, absolutely not. And because, we now know that having your own teeth produces these enzymes, and without these enzymes, you're more likely to have heart failures and heart attacks and diabetes, and the gamut. So then, now let's fast forward to 10 years, and this tooth is loose, and she wants $150. I'm like, no, I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then they took x-rays, of course, of the whole mouth, and they said that within 5 years, all of my teeth would be falling like that, because my bone structure is just so soft with so much calcium. So, made the hard decision to do it. Pull them all out, give me dentures, and it was really traumatic. It was very, very, very traumatic. I didn't know that I was as vain as I am, and I'm trying to overcome that. And it took, this is probably going on 2 years later now, 2.5 years maybe. I'm still not 100% used to my mouth. I have parcels down here, full upper plates. So if you compare my picture with 3 years ago to now, you can see the hollowness of my face. And during that period of time, the adjustment and everything, I lost that last 20 can't ever lose pounds. I'd gotten down to like 132 or something. And I was told, you don't look good. You don't look good at all. And so I got back up to 135, 140, and that was my happy weight. And I've maintained it beautifully, absolutely beautiful. Real proud of myself. And then, let me see, I'm skipping something. I know there's something important I'm skipping. Trying to clue you guys in as much as I can. Babysitting, dentures. Okay, I'm sure it'll come to me. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Oh, here's why I haven't really done any videos. Check this out. I have been using Chrome. I don't know how long I've been using Chrome, but I've been using Chrome. And then I finally killed my laptop, got a new laptop, and I was not able to log into Virginiann1975, and it was killing me because I wanted to do an update every once in a while. That's another story I'll tell you in a minute. So I couldn't log on. So in the meantime, I had another set of my youngest and his wife and 2 kids moved in with me, and I don't know if that was in the last video or not, but they ended up moving out and getting their own place. But during all of that time, I could not log into Virginiann1975, so I said, oh, the heck with it, and I made a new video that I really didn't want the weight loss surgery stuff because I have so many followers on that one, in with my grandchildren stuff because I never used the YouTube for grandchildren things. So I made another username. Well, I don't ever use it, very rarely anymore, and I'm like, I just didn't. Every blue moon I try and log into Virginiann1975 and I can't. So anyhow, I don't know if any of you know with Windows 10, but there's another kind of web browser that came with it called Edge. Well, Edge is not Internet Explorer, but I have a lot of my Catholic stuff. When I open up YouTube in Chrome, I have all my Catholic stuff. I don't see anything obscene or bothersome. It's there, and I love it. I love listening to it. Well, today I saw Allison. I miss you guys so much. It's crazy. And I still use my Fitbit. This is the Surge. I just ordered the Blaze. I'm still a gadget girl. Boy, am I a gadget girl. And I caught a video of her, and she's regained quite a bit and asking for our help. And that was back in January. I thought, oh my gosh, I wish I could have touched bases with her, because when I got my new laptop and I tried to log into Facebook, it wanted to connect to YouTube, YouTube wanted to connect with Google and all this stuff, and it drove me out of my mind and I couldn't do it. So I made all new usernames and I lost a lot of people I was following on Facebook. So Facebook for the last couple of years, I've only used strictly for family and parents and grandparents, so the people that the children I babysit. So every once in a while I'll get a notice, you know, for Allison or Miss Janie here, or, you know, Banded Wendy and Rose, Gastric Rose, and I try and watch a little bit here and there, but for the most part I've just fallen away. Well, I want to make some videos, and I want to help as much as I can, because I have been so successful in changing my lifestyle. And here's a really interesting thing that I discovered. I had put on maybe 10, 15 pounds a year or so ago, right before, you know, this whole mouth thing happened. And I saw one of my videos that I came back from the meet and greet in Las Vegas where everyone was calling me tiny and I was a size 8. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a size 8 right now and I don't look like that. What happened? Well, what happened was I was exercising, and you know me, I'm not an exerciser. I'm a walker, and I still am a walker. And just doing the little bit of boxing and stuff that I had gotten into, and doing 20 minutes on that, and doing my, as much steps as I possibly can, had me toned enough to look really good in a size 8. And I thought, wow, there's the answer right there. To be or not to be fit, I looked so good. So I immediately started last January, or I think it was just October, November. I've gotten one of those glider things, so I started on that. I built myself up to an hour, and I said, this is crazy, I need to get back. And got back down, and I was looking good Christmas time. Well, January, about the middle of January, my neck started swelling. Like, what the heck is going on with my neck now? My goodness. So went to the ER, and they did a CAT scan. They said it might be what's called a right bronchial cyst. Now, for those of you that don't know what a right bronchial cyst is, when we're in utero in the embryonic form and we start dividing in our cells, some people have this particular cell that does not divide and turn into a kidney or a heart or whatever, and it attaches itself to the right bronchial tube. And if it's going to bother anyone, it's going to bother babies and children. It's very rare in adults. Very, very rare. So it's deep. They can see it's very, very deep. And they said, here's some antibiotics. This is in Kingman Regional over here. Here's some antibiotics. Apply heat. Me and my nursing brain like heat to an inflamed thing. I don't know about that. So I followed the instructions. I was very compliant. And 2 days later, it's even bigger. It's horrible. So I go back, and this time they admit me. And because of my parathyroids and thyroid removal in 2001, I don't let general surgeons touch my neck. There's too much going on in there. You better be specialized in this area. And we have one ENT in Kingman, and I don't have to name names because there's only one. She saw me. She went in. She cleaned everything out. She said she was able to get to the cyst. The non-cyst that I found out later, she was able to get the cyst. She cleaned it all out, left a little drain in there. I was there on antibiotics for a couple, 2, 3, 4 days. Sent me home. It'll close up. It'll heal from the inside out. This was February 3rd to 6th, or 7th, 8th, right there. February. So then, it wasn't closing. It was not healing. I had this drainage, this green pussy drainage. I kept trying to make an appointment with her. I said, this has got to be infected. I know that green isn't good. And she goes, no, as long as it doesn't smell, it's not infected. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. This was somewhere in February, March, April. So she goes, we're just going to go out and close you up. And I said, well, can it be an outpatient situation? Because I'm so done with hospitals, please. And she goes, oh, yeah, not a problem. Let's go in, close it up. You'll be done. Okay. Well, so she schedules me for this particular day, and I go in the Friday before on Monday, or Friday before, and I do the blood work and the pre-op stuff that they're supposed to do, and I get this phone call later that night. And it's the pre-op PA. He said, your thyroid levels are totally off. He says, I am not going to approve this surgery until you get it under control. That's he goes, do you have an endocrinologist? I said, no. And I won't even get into that part of the story. So he adjusted my meds for me. And he says, we'll check it in 2 weeks. Well, I know it's going to take longer than 2 weeks for this level to change. So I'm like, all right, 2 weeks. 2 weeks I go back, and no, it's not good enough. He's not approving the surgery. Come back 2 weeks later. Well, during this time, I was trying to get an appointment in to see this ENT, and her assistant kept saying, well, I can schedule you in June. A follow-up. And I go, follow up what? I'm pre-op, and I've got questions for her I need to ask. I'm not comfortable with her closing this up because something's not right here. And she goes, well, I'm sorry, that's all I can do. My husband went down to the office and he said, this is unacceptable. And they just had like this stare down. My husband lost. So during all of this, we said, let me get a second opinion. I think we need a second opinion. So we go down to Bullhead to an ENT there. He takes one look at the CAT scan and he goes, I ain't touching this. He said, and no one should touch this. He says, it is so messed up. I knew you were going to do that.